Headlines is ready to provide you a number of information from business, economic, and capital market sectors. With me, Clara Antawijaya, and this is Market Headlines. And yes, viewers, to boost the economy, the government has decided to extend the economic stimulus. The stimulus including salary subsidy, people's business loans, pre-work cards, and corporation support are confirmed to be extended until the first quarter of 2021.
The government, through Coordinating Minister for Economic Affairs, has confirmed to extend the economic stimulus. In the official statement, the minister mentioned that stimulus such as social assistance, salary subsidy, people's business loans, pre-work cards, and corporation support are confirmed to be extended until the first quarter of 2021.
Beberapa program terkait dengan pemulihan ekonomi, apakah itu terkait dengan program KUR ataupun subsidi lainnya, nanti kita akan lanjutkan di kuartal pertama di tahun 2021. Jadi dengan demikian support daya beli tetap di 2021, baik itu subsidi KUR maupun terkait dengan kartu prakerja, maka itu akan memberikan nafas bagi masyarakat untuk menjaga daya beli yang ada.
With the extension of this stimulus, it is hoped that people's purchasing power will be maintained so that in 2021 the Indonesian economy will be boosted and in accordance with the government's target to grow positively after in the third quarter of 2020 Indonesia's GDP contracted and entered a recession. From Jakarta, Muhammad Olga for IDX Channel.
And yes, viewers, the Minister of Agriculture has ensured the basic food commodity supply will be secured until the end of the year. Even better, rice supply is already in a full oversupply conditions, which is 6 to 7 million tons exceeded. As food is a basic need, food supply is one of the critical issues that need to be addressed immediately. Therefore, Syahrul Yassin Limpo, as a Minister of Agriculture, has stated that there are 11 basic food commodities that is in the safe condition. The word safe means that a stock fits into the demand until the end of the year. Those 11 basic food commodities are rice, corn, onion, garlic, chili, cayenne, beef, buffalo meat, chicken, egg, sugar, and cooking oil.
Dan alhamdulillah 11 bahan pokok dasar yang ada, termasuk beras, jagung, bawang merah, bawang putih, cabai besar, cabai rawit, daging sapi kerbau, daging ayam ras, telur ayam ras, gula pasir, dan minyak goreng dalam kendali penuh di 2020 ini. Koordinasi Bapak Menko selama ini sampai ke lapangan, jadi bicara ke pertanian itu bicara lapangan. Untuk musim tanam satu, kami dua dalam satu tanah ada 2 musim, khususnya mempersiapkan beras.
Almost all Indonesians consider rice as a daily intake. Therefore, Minister put special notes for rice plantations. Minister ensured that Indonesia has produced 31 million tons of rice. The number can fulfill community needs until the end of 2021. The conditions is considered as oversupply. From Jakarta, Muhammad Olga for IDX Channel. Indonesia Chamber of Commerce is about to hold Jakarta Food Security Summit by November 18, 2020. And this event is to elevate the farmers' welfare and enhance food resiliency. Indonesia Chamber of Commerce will again hold the Jakarta Food Security Summit on November 18th and 19th. And this year's theme is the national economic recovery to support food security and improve the welfare of the farmers, breeders, fishermen, and processing industry. Vice Chairman of Agribusiness and Food Sector at Indonesian Chamber of Commerce, Frankie Usman Wijaya, stated that other than meeting up private sectors, government, and civil society, this summit also can increase investment from downstream to upstream, especially when it comes to productivity growth. This can be done by farmers and business sectors corporations as a key sustainability. And therefore, Chamber of Commerce also assists farmers to get more productivity.
Dan kita diminta untuk bisa mencapai 1 juta dan dengan sangat berterima kasih kepada partner kita semuanya yang berpartisipasi, maksudnya perusahaan-perusahaan yang mendampingi daripada petani-petani ini bisa kita mencapai 1 juta dan kita bertekad untuk bisa naik tambah 1 juta lagi sampai 2.
The COVID-19 pandemic has proven to be a tipping point for digital business payments. Central Bank reported that online transactions value is highest during the pandemic, whereas it went up 79% year on year.
Central Bank sees the opportunity for digital economic transactions is still quite high, even though in the conditions of COVID-19 pandemic. From the data on 4 e-commerce collected by Central Bank, it appears that until September 2020, the total transactions in 4 largest e-commerce sites reached 22.05 trillion rupiah. The value grew by 13.3% on the annual basis from the same period of last year. Not only the growth of e-commerce is high, as seen in the term of transactions volume, Central Bank also recorded transactions volumes went up by 79.38% annually.
Kita lihat di sini pertumbuhan e-commerce ya. Pertumbuhan e-commerce masih mencatat pertumbuhan yang cukup tinggi dari sisi volume 79%-nya.
The Central Bank also indicated that the number of 4 e-commerce transactions in the third quarter of 2020 was recorded at 150.16 million transactions. The number was skyrocketing compared to the last year's same period, as many as 83.71 million transactions. Jakarta, Rahajo Pakmu for IDX Channel.
Market headlines will be right back after this quick break. Stay tuned.
Baik saja tidak cukup, kita harus betul-betul memahami lingkungan bisnis global yang lebih baik, plus di dalam negerinya sosiologi dan antropologi, supaya totalitas kita membantu petani secara efektif.
Kita memang ketahanan pangan, tetapi kita menuju ke kedaulatan pangan.
Ada shadow power yang mendikte pembangunan sektor pertanian bukan oleh Kementerian Pertanian.
Welcome back to Market Headlines. The government, through the Minister of the State-Owned Enterprises, Erick Thohir, plans to form a state-owned tourism holding. Due to the plan, Survey Udara Penas will be appointed as a holding company.
The government, through Coordinating Minister for Economic Affairs, has confirmed to extend the economic stimulus. In the official statement, the minister mentioned that stimulus such as social assistance, salary subsidy, people's business loans, pre-work cards, and corporation support are confirmed to be extended until the first quarter of 2021.
Beberapa program terkait dengan pemulihan ekonomi, apakah itu terkait dengan program KUR ataupun subsidi lainnya, nanti kita akan lanjutkan di kuartal pertama di tahun 2021. Jadi dengan demikian support daya beli tetap di 2021, baik itu subsidi kur maupun terkait dengan kartu prakerja, maka itu akan memberikan nafas bagi masyarakat untuk menjaga daya beli yang ada.
With the extension of this stimulus, it is hoped that people's purchasing power will be maintained so that in 2021 the Indonesian economy will be boosted and in accordance with the government's target to grow positively after in the third quarter of 2020 Indonesia's GDP contracted and entered a recession. From Jakarta, Muhammad Olga for IDX Channel.
And yes, viewers, as the government has taken steps to execute the plan to form a tourism holding company, how is the progress so far? And which state-owned enterprises will join this holding? So let's see our review and the following infographics. Through your screen, you can see the first one in here. We can see the structure of tourism and supporting sector holdings. First of all, we can see Survei Udara Penas, that is as a holding company. And then the second one is that we can have the second line in here. We got Angkasa Pura 1, Angkasa Pura 2, Garuda Indonesia, the listed company of the national carrier airlines. And also we got Ina Hotels and Resort, PT Sarina, Indonesia Tourism Development Corporations, and also Taman Wisata Candi. And we can make sure that the Survei Udara Penas is the holding company among of all. And then the Minister of SOE, Eric Thohir, has appointed Survei Udara Penas as the tourism holding company. The minister revealed that the reason behind the appointment of Penas is as a holding company. The first reason is 100% ownership by the government, and the second one is that the Penas has a high degree of organizational restructuring flexibility, whereas the total employees are only 5 people and 1 subsidiary. Then the transformations of Penas as a holding company will be easier and more concise. And as stated in the first graphic, Penas will become the holding company for the other 7 SOEs. And so viewers, with the appointment of the holding members, what is the government's objective in establishing this holding? And the answer is in the next graphic. Through the next graphic, you can see the purpose of tourism holding establishment in here. So here it is. We can see the first reason is that to accelerate the inclusive economic and human resources development. And the second one is that to develop the national and global connectivity. And the third reason is that probably the business and market expansions, which is the market expansions, one that really put in a highlight by the government. And the fourth one is that market and operational advantages that can be taken by holding establishment itself. And the fifth one is that portfolio management optimizations. And then establishments of the tourism holding and its supporting sectors is targeted for the completions next year. The presence of the holding is expected to accelerate the economic recovery in this sector. In addition, it is hoped that these establishments of the tourism holding will facilitate the coordinations between the SOEs. And of course, the establishments of the tourism holding is expected not only to pursue efficiency, but to advance the tourism industry and strengthen the SOE in aviation industry. And of course, not to forget, the holding must also be able to create a healthy level of demand for the whole holding members. After going through the initial stage, what are the next stage of establishings of the tourism holding? Let's find it out in the next graphic. Through your screen, we can see the portfolio restructuring in here. This is the second stage of holding establishment. First of all, we got 4 clusters in here. The airport cluster, which is included of Angkasa Pura 1 and Angkasa Pura 2 and Pelita Air Service. And the third one is that the destinations management clusters, which is ITDC, Taman Wisata Candi, Ina Hotel Resorts, Aerowisata, and Garuda Indonesia Holiday France. And then the fourth one, which is the last one, which is aviation services and logistic cluster. We got Gapura Angkasa, Angkasa Pura Solusi, GMF AeroAsia, Garuda Indonesia Cargo, Angkasa Pura Cargo, Aero Express, Angkasa Pura Supports, Aerofood ACS, and also Sarina. And in the second stage, the clustering process will be carried out, and the Ministry of State-Owned Enterprises will pull out several Garuda Indonesia subsidiaries as a consequence for the formations of the tourism holding. And then the Garuda Indonesia subsidiaries that will be pulled out include Aerowisata, Garuda Indonesia Holiday France, Aerofood ICS, and Gapura Angkasa. And later, the Garuda Indonesia subsidiaries will become members of the cluster, which will be formed in a portfolio restructuring phase, which will be carried out in 2021 to 2022. And in the middle of the holding establishment process, how are the responses from the prospective holding members? So let's go to the next graphic to see what's the statements behind of that. And through your screen, we can see the responses from the members of the tourism holding. The first one is that from the President Director of Garuda Indonesia, which is Irfan Setiaputra. He said, all ecosystems are being reviewed by the Ministry of State-Owned Enterprises team, and of course, we hope that this synergy can provide better growth for the company. And then the second statement is that from the President Director of Angkasa Pura II, which is Muhammad Awaluddin. He said in the statement that holding creates a single coordination development of the master plan and integrates the advantages of each state-owned enterprises and these holding ecosystem so that the existing potential can be optimized to advance the tourism industry in Indonesia. And of course, the holding members have stated their readiness. And yes, this readiness, including in the terms of the technical preparations for the completions of the holding. But however, at the same time, the observer of the aviation industry, Gary Sujatman, expressed his opinion that this plan must be carefully considered its impact on the private airlines. The reason is, having state-owned airlines and airports in one holding carries risk from a competitiveness point of view. And therefore, private airlines need a guarantee that the existence of this holding will not have an impact on the service for the private players. And as viewers, hopefully Indonesia's tourism holding can become an integrated ecosystem which offers a combination of attractive tourism destinations, attractive accommodations, and also competitive air transportation rates. And stay tuned on market headlines because we will be right back after this quick break.
IDX Channel, the Indonesia Stock Exchange channel, is the authorized capital market channel in Indonesia. To give references to global investors, IDX Channel also presented the news about the dynamic of Indonesia's economy, business, and capital market in English. IDX Channel also have different types of programs. They are Special Dialogue, Market Opening, Market Review, IDX First Session Closing, IDX Second Session Closing, Market Headlines, and News Screen. IDX Channel is aired 24 hours a day with 5 hours live program from Indonesia Stock Exchange trading floor. Our vision and mission as the only capital market TV channel in Indonesia that is committed to improve the capital market knowledge in the country. News that had been delivered on IDX Channel can also be seen on our digital platforms, so you can give yourself an update about informations anywhere and everywhere. IDX Channel can be watched through Vision Channel, First Media Channel, IndiHome Channel, and Vision Plus, and also live streaming on idxchannel.com. IDX Channel provides information from around the world from different perspectives. We provide you various investment strategies, stock options, inspiring figures for your business references. IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic, business, and capital market channel.
Yes, viewers, welcome back to Market Headlines. So let's take a look at Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement. So earlier today, JCI was opened at the level of 5,424.73, and then approaching the closing time in the first session, the index was on the level of 5,438.79, and then the index was showing strengthening trend by the second session's closing time. The index was closed at the level of 5,462.74. In short, JCI went up 5.01%. And next, we are going to see the sectoral movement. Leading the dynamics of today's trading, we got finance as the leader of the strengthening trend that went up 3.94%. We got basic industry that went up 2.42%. And we got misc industry that went up 2.26%. And mining that went down 0.96%. And moving on to the top gainers on the top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading. We got BBRI that went up 8.4% to the level of 4,000 per share. We got BBNI that went up 4.41% to the level of 5,325 per share. And we got Waskita that went up 11.39% to the level of 880 per share. And we got PGAS that went up 4.44% to the level of 1,175 per share. Meantime, for the top losers for today's trading, we got ANTM that went down 3.32%. We got MDKA that went down 5.85%. And we got TOWR that went down 2.43%. And Unilever again went down 1.89% to the level of 7,800 rupiah per share. And next, we are going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. So rupiah opened at a level of 14,015, and rupiah was also showing strengthening trend towards US dollar. I was closed at a level of 14,054. In summary, rupiah went up 0.26%. The Indonesia Stock Exchange has teamed up with the X Trading to deploy electronic platform for bond trading on the secondary market.
Collaborating with the global bond trading solutions provider X Trading to develop alternative market operator system, or SPPA. The technology allows trading on the secondary market of bonds and sukuk. X Trading confirmed in September last year that it had been chosen by IDX as a technology partner to deploy a new electronic trading platform for the Indonesian bond market. It is hoped to deliver a significant step in the development of Indonesia's bond and sukuk market. From all sources, IDX Channel.
Step aside from market conditions, let's move on into coronavirus news coverage. Spokesperson of a COVID-19 task force, Wicky Adrian, say that the increase in COVID-19 cases in Northern Europe made the task force increase supervisions of the transmissions of the COVID-19, so there would be imported cases. In a press conference, Wicky reminds that the second wave of COVID-19 is occurring in a number of European regions, so that the task force will tighten the supervisions of Indonesia's entry point and borders. The spokespersons also ensure that the supervisions of the migrant workers returning to Indonesia or Umrah pilgrims will be carried out by applying COVID-19 swab test. And yes, viewers, as coronavirus pandemic takes a big role on current economic situations, here it is an update data about coronavirus globally. And the news close our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic business and capital market channel. And before saying goodbye, I would like to remind you on what Mom said. Please do comply with the health protocol by using mask, physical distancing, and avoiding crowd. Also washing your hand often with the soap through overflowing water. I'm Clara Antawijaya. Have a nice evening and stay safe.
Buat saya, motivasi terbesar adalah cinta. Karena saya percaya apabila kita fokus kepada cinta, maka apapun yang kita lakukan, perbuatan